So I'm just been listening to Exodus, the first few chapters in the Old Testament, and where we meet this fellow called Moses, who's, you know, a pretty famous figure in the Old Testament. And you know, it's funny. I'm just the place where he's challenged to become the representative of the people of Israel and to stand before Pharaoh and demand that the people of Israel be released from bondage and slavery. And so again, you know, I sort of think, well, so who's this character Moses? But aside from his beginnings as a baby, where he was in the house of, I think, the Pharaoh's daughter, maybe, he leaves after that, and there's no real indication that he's a person of any real status. And so, you know, he's challenged to become the representative of the people, and his first response is basically to say, nah, not me, mate. That's not going to be me. And in fact, I'm a bit of a slurrer, a bit of a mumbler, got a bit of a speech impediment. I'm not the right guy. You've got this all wrong. Maybe pick someone else. And so, you know, what that says to me is here's a guy who's pretty low in confidence, certainly not a powerful man ready to go out and do these things. And so what changes? And the thing is, you know, what changes is that he's shown a number of things that then give him a belief, and a belief that he'll be supported, and a belief that he'll be able to actually do what's being asked of him. And so, you know, again, we see this guy who is just an ordinary guy who goes on to do extraordinary things. You know, he does lead his oppressed people out of slavery. He does lead them out of captivity, and he leads them across the Red Sea, and he leads them for almost, I think, 40 years after that on their way to the Promised Land. But a guy from humble beginnings without any confidence. So I guess the point is, to me, that it's all about belief. And if you are going to do something, you need to have that belief. And I mentioned in a previous video, I think it's titled, you know, Do You Believe? I mentioned in there that belief comes before performance, and one of the challenges, you know, is to develop that belief, because without it, the success is pretty much a fluke. So perhaps go back and have a look at that one. It's only short, but it talks about wave running, you know, from a running point of view. You know, that's the structure of the wave running program is intended to develop that belief in you, so that you know when you're standing on the start line that you know that you can do what you're trying to do. But you know, the whole thing applies not just to running. You know, you've got to test yourself along the way to develop belief, to know that you can actually do what you're wanting to set out and do. So, you know, go back and have a look at that video, and in the meantime, you know, if you've got any comments and things, you want to start up a conversation in the comments, then by all means do. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the whole thing, and you know, we can have a chat then. And in the meantime, we'll just keep going.